Hi. Well, if you've returned and you're back for this, well, prepare yourself for something a little more than you've had before. Before I was describing this as a composite of the family tree, body systems, glands, organs. What I mean by that is this little blue circle is your mother's parents, mother's mother, mother's father, mother's mother's mother, and so on. And on the opposite side, it's a mirror. So your father, father's father, father's father's father, all of these have kinds of numbers. These numbers, as you can see, they have to do with the pelvic cavity being a 1, 2, 3 at the solar plexus, 4 at the heart region, 5 at the throat, 6 in the head. And all of these numbers, they correspond to glands, organs, body systems, and they all produce a variety of symptoms. Now, if you watch the symptoms, you get a clue of what's unresolved in your family tree. Now, you can see some of those symptoms in your parents, if they're still alive, or your grandparents, if they're still alive, or your great grandparents, if you're fortunate enough to have a great grandparent alive. Boy, you might just say thank you, because each one of these great grandparents, they are at a different level of stimulation. Your parents have 1 degree, or if you will, 1 component of being a multiplier. Your grandparents, they have another level, or if you will, they have an exponential function times 10, which means in many ways, the influence of a grandparent can actually be greater than one of your parents. And typically, you'll have a natural draw to one or more of your grandparents because, well, you're more directly related to their DNA than you are either one of the parents. I know that sounds odd, but oftentimes the genetic sequences, they are like they leapfrog through the generations. So notice it within yourself. You can feel these. Now, I'm suggesting that this month is a particular month to feel 2 significantly important great grandparents. Meaning, this is a month where, if you want to use my math, it's, well, 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Wow, let's see, what is that? It's a whole lot of tens. So basically, your relationship to your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents is a series of scales of octaves of influence. So the great-grandparents, they have a profound influence, and they give you the opportunity to feel more than you could imagine you could feel if you want to feel them, because it's not required that you do. It is an opportunity. So I'm suggesting that you experiment with feeling number 3. Doesn't require so much about the idea that where did it come from? How did you get this? Yeah, that's a whole nother story sometime. But I'm going to suggest if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, I'm wearing your color today because I'm trying to relate to my Southern Hemisphere, which is father's father's mother. Now, that represents the emerald green color, and that emerald green color really represents your solar plexus, but primarily on the right side, liver function, and other ones too, but that emerald green quality is the infused outcome of the second month of summer in the actual living, robust, providing, nurturing green. In the summer, the grass, the bushes, the trees, they're just projecting out this expression of the vital forces of creation. Now, just so you know, all of that green that you think you see around you is actually being reflected to you in an infrared light. If you were able to put on lenses of just seeing infrared light, you would find out that everything green around you is white light. I know that's odd, but infrared light is being robustly projected to you in this moment from the green around you. The color of green is what's being reflected by the trees. That's why you see it. But if you saw it with a different lens and you could see the infrared spectrums, and you can see some pictures like this, online. They'll show you pictures of infrared plants, which is the light that's coming through you. Now, the very cool part about the infrared light of the green kingdom is that infrared light now scientifically is shown to penetrate 8 centimeters into the body. Ultraviolet light hits the window, hits your skin, that's it. You'll feel ultraviolet because it produces a heat. But the infrared goes really literally right through most windows and goes right into your cellular matter, 8 centimeters or more, which means it goes through your bones in your skull and other places. You're being saturated with infrared light. Now, scientifically, science now recognizes that this infrared light coming from the abundance of nature is actually going into the mitochondria and producing a molecule of melatonin. And that melatonin is used like a little tiny vacuum cleaner, and it begins to sweep up the toxicity on the inside of your cells, permitting your mitochondria to produce more energy. Infrared light can be, when you want it to be, a food for your mitochondria to not just produce melatonin, but eventually to produce other things too. So I'm suggesting to you, if you're in the southern hemisphere, pause for a moment and say thank you. Because the thank you means I receive it with an appreciation and an awareness of the opportunity to now simultaneously take it in with a sense of purpose. Now, mechanically, the infrared light has a mechanical function, and it operates within the wavelengths of the spectrum of light that it's in. So the infrared is not in the range of eyesight. It's beyond the range of eyesight, either near or far. So your ability to sense is that you can't sense it with your sight. You can't really sense the infrared until it accumulates in enough heat where you can feel it with your temperature. But the infrared light is an opportunity for you to take what nature's offering you, which is a robust medicinal healing. I know that sounds odd, but in this moment, when you're out in nature, you can receive the infrared light, and you can add to that wave pattern the emotional content of that which you wish to grow or increase inside yourself. So I'm suggesting if you're in the 3rd month in the Southern Hemisphere, it's a really good time to use that infrared robust energy to bring it into your body with an aware, certain consciousness, and to increase that vital force by your emotional imagination of receiving life on a deeper, robust, combine it all and feel it. Now, there's a different kind of light that comes from a blade of grass because it's a little different angle. There's a different kind of light that comes from a bush. There's a different kind of light that comes from a short tree and a tall tree. There's a different kind of light that comes from a fruit tree or a flower or a plant. You have all these different frequencies of feeling and imagination and possibility by simply, deeply appreciating with a sincere sense of gratitude. Whoa, thank you. You don't need to comprehend it all. You can even ask your guards or guardians or angels or whomever you like to help you receive at the same time a divine capacity to feel it. Now that's a little different than you might have thought of. You might say, show me the truth about how to receive the infrared light combined with emotional truth about how it works, where it goes. And you thought that was strange. Well, hang on. We're going to go to the opposite side of the world. Remember, these work in opposites. So at the same time that the Southern Hemisphere is in the 3-girl emerald green month, the Northern Hemisphere is in the 2nd month of winter, and that's called the light green sword of truth. Now, there's a whole bunch of mystery about what it means. If you've ever seen the movie Excalibur or whatever, this hand comes out of the lake. It holds a upright sword, double-edged sword, and it's rising upward and water's dripping everywhere. And this is the light green sword of awareness, truth. Okay, so in the Northern Hemisphere, there's still green around, depending on where you live. So yes, the infrared light is moving, but in the Northern Hemisphere, something else is also available because of this month of the year being the 3-boy month. This just happens to be mother's father. You remember the other one was father's mother. That was the liver. This just happens to be the pancreatic function, which is maybe one of the more complex or challenging organs in the body to fully understand the whole processes of liver and pancreas relating to each other on the it's a whole nother story. But I'm saying that the 3-boy month is your opportunity to engage in the robust desire to want to know the truth. Okay, so that's an easy thing to say, right? Consider that the 3-boy month has qualities to it. One of the qualities is possibility. You are in the month of infinite possibilities. Which one of those possibilities would you like to know about? Because the infinite possibilities actually is capable of being eternal opportunities. Possibility, eternal experiences of opportunity. Okay, that sounds odd, but I'm saying the 3-boy month is a month of awareness. If you increase your desire to want to feel the truth about awareness, you're going to find out that awareness has infinite possibilities of where to put itself. Which one of those awarenesses are you going to choose? Now, if you really look at it, the place that you focus is also an opportunity to want to do that with an ever increasing capacity, to want to know the truth about emotionally that possibility that is your opportunity. I'm saying the 3-boy month is your opportunity to increase your love of truth. Possibility, opportunity. You stand right in the middle of it, surrounded by possibility and opportunity, and you get to do the remarkable thing if you want. Choose one. Yes, you can choose more than one. You can choose sets of 3s if you want. I like 3s or 6s or 9s, but you can choose. What are you going to choose? Well, I would suggest if you're in the 3-boy month, increase your personal passion for the love of truth. Then you're going to have an opportunity with that truth to make a choice about where you want the truth to come from. That's an opportunity. It's not a requirement. Now, that sounds strange, but if you have a love of truth, where do you want the truth to come from? Yeah, I use Google regularly. Yeah, I like being able to get Google really fast. You can get an answer to almost anything from Google, right? Do you want the truth ultimately to come from cyberspace through Google? Yes, I use it for an intellectual knowledge about something. When you can, like, say the difference between happy and happiness, well, you can do any comparison of anything on Google. You can compare anything on Google and you'll get an answer. The opportunity is, where do you want the truth to come from? That's an opportunity. Consider all the possibilities of where you know where the truth used to come from when I was a small boy? Oh, by the way, that was a long time ago. My neighbors had a set of encyclopedias. The Encyclopedia Britannica was called, right? Britannica. Oh my God. And I would go over to my neighbor's house and open, and this is the gospel of truth. The Encyclopedia Britannica and all these. Have you noticed that we don't see the Encyclopedia Britannica around anymore? We have the Encyclopedia of Google and whatever, and DuckDuckGo and all these other things. You get all these search engines bringing you all the encyclopedias of Britannica in multiple languages if you want. Why would you ever need any more than this? I'm suggesting you can make a choice where you want the truth to come from. That's particularly good on the 3-boy month. Oh, by the way, there's 4 weeks and each one of them is different, but we won't go there today. But remember, on the opposite side of the world, they have the physical, social abundance of the manifestation of truth being revealed as medicine in the plant kingdom, nurturing, health, food, vegetables, fruit, hugs, social community functions, justice, equilibrium, and all of that has a choice. Where do you want security, health to come from? Well, infrared light, truth. Where do you want the truth to come from? Some old gray-haired man sitting in North America somewhere? Or yes, we can have friends that we can share things with and do all that with, but no, I'm a source of the opportunity to consider where the higher source comes from. Okay. That's too many possibilities and far too much opportunity. You're going to have to decide what all this means for yourself. And another day, we'll come back and tickle you again. See ya.